Right. Okay, 7 p.m. July 11th, 12th, City Hall, 140 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Time to call the City of Torrington and the Wetlands meeting to order. Serving on the commission this evening are members Christine Altman, William Sturdy, Alexis Cruzzi is on Zoom, myself, Jay Bate, also present, Jeremy Weifer, City Planner, and Nate Tardy Cyrus, the Wetlands Enforcement Officer. Okay. 2 more minutes. Next is for the minutes for approval for the 5/24/22 meeting.
I move that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Is that an aye?
Yeah, sorry. Aye.
Okay. Motion approved. Okay, that's approved. Next is old business, none. New business, determination of significance, applicant City of Torrington, location Bow Road, CT bridge number 05059, activity temporary replacement of ground supported shoreline towers in Northington River.
So, Paul, the city engineer, was supposed to come and present on this, at least for the initial determination, but he's not here today, so I'm not sure. Do you think, Jeremy, we should wait for him?
You want to just kick this down the agenda? We'll see if he,
That's what-
if he shows.
Yeah. And then next on the agenda would be determination of significance for Paul Abling on 471 Newfield Road. He is also not present right now, so I guess we could.
I hope it's not for locked doors.
It could be.
Could be.
I keep checking the door, but nobody's out there.
Well,
I'm gonna have to go
I
out there
would
and
have
be,
tried the 3 and then I would have
I'm
left.
gonna have to go out there and be valet.
Yeah.
I was on my way to the 3rd door when you showed up.
All right, well, I'll keep going and try. You guys do your
We
thing.
can continue on.
Okay, we'll go down to the show cause hearing.
Mr. Slowa, and
No, I'll wait for Rudy to be here.
okay.
So we don't know if anybody's gonna be.
Well, then when he comes back, that's it, we'll do me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Guess we can do the staff report.
Sure.
How do we do that? Instead of sitting here.
Twiddling our thumbs.
Yeah, okay,
Alright.
we'll move to the staff report.
So I apologize for the small font on this. I should have done it on an 11 by 17. Have the enforcement report on a very tiny page. So I don't know if you want to take a look at it or.
No, you can just-
Okay.
Just tell us.
The only new updates on enforcement were sending the show of cause notification to Mr. Slowa. And then Jeremy was following up on violation at 2904 Winstead Road, which was Haynes excavation or mining, and so he can speak to that. I haven't been involved with that, but those were the only two as far as enforcement report goes. And if you have questions, yeah, you can ask Jeremy when he comes up. There was a minor revision to the permit number WC 220402 for John Brown Road, the installation of the bog bridge. They came back to us with installation of a new design other than what was approved. I'll pass this around. They had seen this at People's State Forest, and it's hard to see in that picture, but that's a corrugated culvert, a plastic culvert, and it kind of sits on the bog rather than having, you know, that pilings going in there, you're actually just kind of floating on top of it, so, you know, we approved that as a, you know, benefit,
Mhm.
additional protection, and it's what the state does, in people's state forests, so. Seems like an easy one there.
Yeah.
Probably last longer.
The pipe's not going anywhere.
Is that just under a boardwalk?
That's just under the boardwalk, yeah, originally they were gonna use locust, and I think it was too
So
costly.
expensive,
Yeah, that they're gonna use locust decking still,
Yeah.
but they're just gonna secure this with pressure treated.
Yeah.
But this is the design that the state uses there, and so.
Yeah, and then you only need it if it's.
And the
flush,
pressure treated
so
is
it's
not in
perfect
contact
With
with
anything,
anything,
so it
so,
should last a while.
how's that, no one downstairs?
Nope, I'm gonna have to talk with people about locking the doors tomorrow. I can't find the maintenance guy either, so.
Did you want to give a brief update on Winstead Road on the?
Yeah, that was, so I might have gone over this in one of the previous meetings, because it goes back a few months, but Haynes had an issue with their settling pond where they, it was either their settling pond or one of the basins near the settling pond, where they wash their trucks. It's kind of fine, really fine material that's supposed to go in the settling pond. And it made its way into the drain under Winstead Road and into the marsh across the street. Haynes retained an engineer to come up with a fix and get us an application. So I do know that he's still working on that application. It may be a situation where it does more harm than good because it's actually clean material. It's just that fine, silty, powdery stuff that comes off the trucks. So they're gonna provide a report and an application for us and some sort of plan. So I do know they're working on it.
And then agent determinations, I did 2 of those at 341 Dale Boulevard and 77 Belmont Drive, and that was just the installation of drain pipe, like gutter drains in the upland review area with no work in the wetlands. And Jeremy did those determinations on Liberty Lane and Eagle Ridge. I think that was just pulled over because he didn't have
We didn't have a meeting, yeah, Liberty, which one? No. Okay, I think I actually already reported on the Liberty Lane one.
Okay.
It just didn't come off the agenda. That was for tree removal of dead trees in the wetland. I think it was 5 or 6 trees. Yeah. And Eagle Ridge was actually a new house. I think I showed everybody that one last month. It was all in the upland, but no, the grade was away from the wetlands. So just single family house in the upland area.
The next item is following best practices from the state of Connecticut, just the official appointment of myself as the new State of Torrington Inland Wetland agent, formally by the board. So I'll leave that up to you.
We took this up last month. So since Nate is our new enforcement officer, we just have to make it official. I'll still act as his backup when he's on vacation or something, but.
So I just move that.
Yep,
Nate
to
is our-
appoint him as.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, I move that we appoint Nate Nardi Cyrus as the Torrington Inland Wetlands Enforcement Agent.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the last bit of business is just that we have a new member that's yet to be appointed, Emily Jury. She's on vacation right now, so she wasn't able to attend, and it looks like she's not on Zoom unless that's her down below. But anyway, so she's excited to join the commission and will be at the next meeting. We presume that at the next city council meeting she'll be.
So what happened on Belmont Drive at Hamilton? Those 2 agents.
Gutter drains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gutter drains?
Yeah.
One was which one of those was a neighbor complaint, right?
they both were neighbor.
They both were neighbor
Yeah.
complaints, okay.
Going into a drain in their water.
Yeah,
What are you doing with that? I mean, if
somebody has a gutter drain, comes down and they stop draining it 10 feet away from them. Follow me?
So it's, you can't pitch water from one property to another, even if you are dissipating it.
What's the distance that you can dump it?
I mean, you really can't, you can't
You have to
run,
dump it on your,
Yeah.
as long as it's on your property.
yeah, you
But I mean,
can't.
I've got a situation, I looked across at one of my neighbors and they put a pipe in and they put a little bit of stone on top, but they didn't dig a dry well. So when it rains, it comes down his gutter and it comes down in there and it fills up and perks out and then it goes into his neighbor's.
I mean, you're really only supposed to, and Bill can answer this, you're only really supposed to, mitigate water to a certain level of storm.
Yeah.
If you get a downpour, there's no.
Yeah.
You don't design for a flash flood event.
100 years storm. Okay.
In these cases, they weren't discharging into the wetlands and there was significant amount of buffer between the wetlands and that discharging with stone down and with outlet and all that. Okay, so that's all I have for staff report.
Okay, so now we can go back to the show cause hearing. Yeah, Timberlake Assessor Map 202, Block 002, Lot 023. Current permits AD-17-12-02 and WC 18-0501. Wetlands violation not permitted under referred reference permits. What's the story of this one?
So I can just give you, Nate has taken the file over, but I can just give you the history, the latest history for me. We spoke last fall, I believe, and there's just been a lot of things going on the property. And the last conversation I had was basically you have to have, you buy a lot and you have to get it approved for something. The lot was approved as a building lot. So our conversation was you have to get an engineer and a plan, a stamped plan, and an overall plan for the property that shows us what you're going to do, because there's a lot of weird tinkering going on there, but no actual plan to do anything on the property. So that was the latest conversation we had, is we needed work to stop until we had an engineered stamp plan for a single family house, and then all the other work on the property could be moving towards that end. And then they took the file over at that point, a few months after that.
Right, and so we had continued documentation of work without plan. Outside of the bounds of the two permits, one of which was for brush clearing in the upland review area. And that was specified on the map. And then the other was for treating of Phragmites, which, per the permit had to be done by a qualified licensed applicator, and no other work would be done, no clearing, grading, anything in the wetlands, just that specific work. And so, we received photographs and evidence and saw ourselves on the site that there was clearing right in the wetlands, and evidence of application of that.
Now, you just said you saw evidence of application of.
Just state your name for the
Oh,
record.
okay.
Well,
Just keep it won't pick it up on it.
All right. Can I give you my documentation?
Sure.
Councilor Lewis, owner of the Timberlake property.
Okay, great, thanks.
Now, I'm gonna leave packets for, I got one extra. And they package for them too.
Okay.
If you throw them out or wherever, but they're not for the public.
Okay.
Now, do you have my file?
So just to be clear though, if you're giving us something for the show cause, before we open anything, it's gonna become public record.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Oh, no, absolutely. Because we gotta work to solve this. Now, let me
I just want to make sure you do it was gonna.
Let me ask you this. Is everybody here paid?
No, we'll be,
Some are volunteers.
yes.
We're all on.
Okay. And when you make decisions, is it a majority vote or how's it work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody takes a vote and it's a majority vote.
Yes.
And then that decides the fate.
Yes.
Okay. I was listening to you talking about water and stuff like that. Has anybody had any personal experience with Phragmites and owning property with wetlands and regulated areas here? Own property?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Phragmites,
good,
no.
good. That's good. All right. Okay, so here's what we got so far. Let me get to the packet. And my file, is it here?
I'm sorry, your file, yes.
My file.
Yes.
Can I see it?
Yes.
The complete file.
This is,
You don't mind me if I do this, right?
so this is your permits, so this is for the Phragmites permit.
All right, you just want to open it, yeah, just want to open it. Here's what I'm looking for.
We're just getting a little straight here. If you want to, you should take the stuff, just so you're not hanging over the
It
table.
doesn't make a difference. What you got, you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, doesn't make a difference.
But I guess we should just probably outline how these show cause hearings work. So Nate goes over what, or the two of us, I guess, go over what we saw on site.
Yeah.
And then you just respond to it, and then the commission's got to vote whether to leave the show cause in place, to alter it, or to remove it.
Okay, all right, the second piece of the actual permit. Can we get that to that right here? That was issued to me. It's the second one down.
What's the date on?
It's June 1st, 2108.
Oh, yeah, with the wrong date, okay.
Oh, no, that happens. Okay. And this was done by Rista. Okay, let's see. So you have the first page. And let's go to the second page. Let's look at the first paragraph in regard to your application. And just read it to yourselves. And then go down to activity. And authorized activity is for oral and written testimony. Have you listened to the oral part yet? I tried to get it, I couldn't get it. I've given testimony for this permit, which the town of Torrington partnered with me to get rid of the Phragmites. Partnered with me. Said that all the regulations were met by the best methods that you just said to yourself, you just became the commissioner by best state practices and methods is what I submitted for this. So you should have that, the original documentation in your folder. I still have mine. And I'm not giving you copies of it.
So it says that proposed activities include treat and cut chemical treatment by state licensed agent taking state permits. So that was.
Hold on a second.
Permit.
Hold on.
Did you meet the condition of the permit?
Read this.
Yeah, he is.
According to Marissa, have you spoken with Marissa to back check anything on this? To get a history?
Yes, I have.
You have. Okay, that's good. I don't want to know what it is. That's good.
Understand, you applied on your application in your handwriting by a licensed applicator. They wouldn't have approved it
All
for
right,
you to do applications, because
well, I'm not leaving. You're saying I'm doing applications of what?
I don't know what you're doing applications.
That's all right. Now you have documentation of application. Can I see them? The pictures. Oh, one more thing. You're getting continuous complaints. How many people?
The neighbor on the property.
One person, right?
It does not matter.
Listen to me.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
Well, you say it doesn't. All right, so here's what the neighbor is so far, and it has nothing to do with this. My burn permit was.
Nothing to do with us.
Right, well, here's what I'm saying. Here's the agencies that he's been involved with: fire department, wetlands commission, zoning, and the police. All right, these are the things I've got complaints. I'm documenting everything. I have reports of everything. Okay? One person, that's all I wanted to be on record. That's all I had to hear. All right? Now, as far as application, how many violations do we have on our property?
Well, I was.
How many violations do I have on the property?
Hold on,
Sir.
You have to let him
Let's
get his
speak. Let's
information.
speak.
So you know something, you're right, I'm getting hot because I got a lot of money invested.
You asked the question, you have to wait for the answer.
You're right, you're absolutely right.
We have 5 on here.
Wait, okay, I have gotten things from your NOV lot, which has the green, yellow, and red. Do you have that?
Our violation?
Yeah, violation lot.
Yeah.
You have it?
Yes.
Okay, the first violation, what does it state in the date?
Spraying herbicides in and near wetlands without permits.
And what does it say about the Phragmites?
I don't see anything about Phragmites.
You don't?
I mean, this is maybe a more recent version than anything you have. I mean, and
All right, so anyway, I didn't do it, so anyways,
the point is that it's not, Phragmites isn't even the major concern with this. It's the fact that we have pictures of grading in the wetlands that is not
okay.
covered by the permit that you have.
All right.
Grading in the wetlands.
The wetlands are Phragmites. My permit was done by Yukon standards, best applicant, the way that they do it, it's stated here, if you go down into the minutes. Okay, it's explicitly mentioned in the minutes, okay? Partner with me to take care of the Phragmites, because they're invasive. The town has taken back Phragmites up before on private land, right? Has worked with owners.
Not that I know
I have no idea.
Well, okay, and that's a good question, that's a good thing. If you go down to the packet over here, go a little bit further, and you're looking for these 2 items here. This is off your POCD.
Yeah.
This is where you got state money. By doing a POCD, and they give you money. So this one here in the middle, right here, is about Phragmites and invasive species. Mild milkweed, vine, the whole stuff. This here is a legend for what areas are specifically labeled special place. In Timberlake or Bantam Timberlake, Bantam Pond, Timberlake Pond, they're the same, is designated as a special place. This says you have a plan. You're going to work with the homeowner on a one-to-one basis. This is after the application. This is current now, before the application was taken out. This is money that was given to you to do this. If you look at the aerials of that area, the 100-foot buffer, when it goes around, is 100% Phragmites. The Phragmites are 10 years old. If you look at some areas, you see fallen trees that other owners, by the way, other owners have owned that property and done work on it. So it's a history of owners. The tree has fallen on farmland. There's piled rocks and there's ox shoes that I found with my metal detector. That's farmland. The soils are designated farmland. Okay, people don't pile rocks or nothing. The Phragmites are growing on top of the fallen trees. The rye zones are 3 inches down because the soil is so fertile, they don't have to go anywhere. Now, I have documentation of all this, which I did not bring here for a specific reason.
Yeah, but the point of this.
So anyways,
Let me just say this. We just want you to respond to what you've been accused of, okay, spraying
Okay.
pesticides. Did you spray pesticides?
No, can I see the pictures of that he sent you of me spraying?
That's what we're looking for, is you to tell
That's
us
fine,
exactly,
that's fine.
just rebut
Right.
what has been brought up.
Here's the question though. You're asking us for all these pictures. Are you saying you didn't spray?
We've
it's-
already talked about this. And I
I
gave you
said,
just,
stop.
Yeah,
but you say it hasn't stopped. I just gave you an update letter not too long ago saying that I will be spraying cedar site again.
It doesn't matter what you're spraying. Your approval for the spraying was not for you to do the applicating.
Oh,
It's not for you to do the application.
all right, you're telling me,
A licensed applicator, if you could show us a license for.
for cedar site.
A license for spraying.
Okay,
Doesn't
how
matter what
about-
it is.
how about maintaining a manicured lawn in a,
You can't have a
regulated?
manicured, you can't have a manicured lawn without a home. This is the point. You have to have,
All right, and what exactly regulation is that stipulated in?
it's like the entire beginning of our zoning regulations.
Okay, now, in that piece of property, from the history of it, Marissa probably knows it, sat up a lot that just recently has a house on it now with an open foundation for 9 years.
Okay. There was no, and so that house had an open foundation
Right,
and there was nothing else going on that property.
but here's the deal.
Nobody was using it for anything else.
He maintained the property.
Sure,
Okay,
he had approval for a single family house.
well, but here,
He did get his.
here's an engineer print, but it's time. He has nothing like
This
this.
is, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little testy here, but this is the problem. I am not gonna keep going around in circles with you.
No, you are
I told
absolutely
you
right.
what you need to do. When you buy a piece of property, the only use you can do with it is what's allowed in the zone.
Okay,
The only uses you can do with it is what is allowed in the zone.
okay,
Single family house.
okay,
You cannot do anything else with the property until you have approval
okay,
for a single family.
okay. Now,
Designing the house.
okay, that's fine. That's,
I mean, I
no,
just,
no,
I'm saying this.
listen, listen, that is your outlook. You're absolutely entitled
It's
to
not
it.
my outlook, it's the regulation.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and I'm glad. Now, I bought a piece of property by a lake. I've also bought a lot of equipment. I spent a lot of hours cutting the fragmites back. So every year I go in, I have to fight back and keep what I gave.
And here's the point. You're not building a house and you're just going in there and maintaining fragmites. Build a house.
It's an invasive species. I don't need to have a house to get rid of fragmites.
You need a house.
It wasn't stipulated in here.
You need a single family. You're
Okay.
not, it's a use violation.
Okay, listen to me. It's not in here, and now we're done with that. It's fine. I'm in violation.
I'm on record.
All right, you're on record now. Because of this, I bought equipment. The only thing I haven't done myself there by age determination is the forestry mulcher. Everything else I've done myself by hand, because I enjoy
Do you
it.
have a plan for a house? Do you
There-
have
there-
a plan for a house? That's
Yeah.
where we have to start.
Right there is a plan for a house, but the problem is, it starts a 5-year clock. The gentleman that I called to see if he would redo that plan, retired. So he won't be able to work with you.
So here's the thing. When you're ready to build a house, pull a permit and get the plans in. Until that happens, no work on the property,
Okay.
no equipment on the property.
Okay, so now, and that's fine. That's the way. Now, I recently had other equipment I bought, chipper, pumps, and I just recently bought a dock. The association says I could put 100 square foot dock in there. Okay,
You can't do that without a house. You can't just put a dock.
okay, there's a regulation for that.
Yes.
Okay, so right now I use 2 pallets by the water, and I stand on it. Okay, it's in a regulated area, and I fish off of that. And the area that I got cleared enough is enough now to start bringing my family down there, and start enjoying a thing by camping and campfires and
Can't
doing
do
things
that.
like that.
You cannot make a campground out of a property.
Oh, hold on.
It's a campsite.
No, this is like a half a day thing.
I get what you're saying. What I'm trying to tell you is there is regulations for
Okay,
campgrounds. There's regulations for campgrounds.
okay, now,
Even if you're using it for your personal use, you
okay,
can't
so
use
you're
it.
telling me I can't enjoy my property, and that's fine.
You can't use a property as a campground.
Okay,
It has to be for, you look at our zoning regulations and it lays out
Okay,
allowed uses for a single
Okay.
family lot.
okay,
You're not meeting any of those right now.
okay. So I want a piece of property that I can't even go,
When you bought the property, you should have been prepared to build a house on.
I was,
That's my point.
I was.
You're not.
No, well, who's gonna build a house now?
I don't know. That's not my, but that's not my issue.
And that's right, but who builds a house now?
Are you saying
Circles,
that you
I
can just find any
I can't do the circles.
Well, here's what I'm getting at. How was a foundation able to stay for 9 years? What permit lasts 9 years?
That wasn't brought up before us. We made no mention of that. We never ruled on anything having to do with that house. In the past, there's been other people that wanted to do stuff with Phragmites, and they got the same, was the same documentation that you did, that they
Okay.
had a license.
Listen, you got what you got, and you got your regulations and stuff. and
I
that's
don't go around on different houses when I'm dealing with you.
fine. Okay,
But what I can say about that is they had valid permits. notice.
Okay, now, I can at any time, and I'll do it in the future, but not now, tell you violations that are going on. And you have to respond to them, right?
Yep.
In writing, I'm gonna be giving it to you.
Yes.
If you look at the overheads of all the people that are on that lake, and you're looking at your 100-foot and 75-foot setback, look at it closely. You can actually do measurements on some of these Zoom Earth and things.
But this isn't, I mean,
Well,
let's go
listen,
back to your issue.
Here's what I'm
Let's
telling
not
you.
go on, you telling on your neighbors, that, you could do that, that's up to
Here's-
you. But we're not gonna discuss that here, we're gonna
Okay.
discuss what
All right,
is in front of you right now.
all right, as soon as I move my equipment, I have to pay a hauler to move it. It's gonna cost me money.
You got it there somehow.
No, absolutely. You tell me I can't leave the ATV or anything there, I can't use the ATV on a property.
No,
All right, then you tell me that I have to move all the equipment, everything.
yes,
But you said construction equipment.
everything.
It's,
Okay.
in your permit, it says,
All right, listen,
I mean, it says
Listen,
right in your permit.
listen,
that
there's smart people to me, and
materials.
that's fine. It'll all be taken care of. So anyways, all the equipment's gotta go. All right, I'm winding up quotes now because I have to get a truck or anything. It's gotta be by his schedule. All right, so there's no more maintaining the property. Can't cut the grass. That's in front. All right, because there are regulations in municipal code that you have to take care of a vacant lot.
And you asked that already, that's road maintenance, you can do that just fine, if you're mowing the side of the road.
Anyways, fine, okay. All right, and there's erosion control. That I can't do everywhere but anywhere in a regulated area. Is any of that stuff I have on the property, could I be used it for anything that would be compliant in a non-regulated area?
Well, you shouldn't be doing, you could clear the lot, which you've cleared.
It's not clear.
You can't do any more work without,
Well, that's fine.
yeah. If you didn't touch the lot, there wouldn't be any loose material on it right now. If you had left the lot alone, this is how the process usually works. You don't touch the lot, you buy the lot, you don't touch the lot, you get approval to do a single family house, then you clear trees, then you build the lot, then you build the house.
These, as far as I'm concerned, these are all enabling acts to get to the house. Like site utility, like the town, and that's fine.
What you need is to
You're all out of order, is my point.
you gotta get your permit to build your
All right,
house,
so
and then you could continue on.
Well, I won't be building a house because it's too expensive right now. So now, just so you know, the equipment that I bought was specific going off of this. I'm gonna be incurring expenses to get this out. You have posted an inventory online of my equipment that's there. My neighbor works for the town. And he took his Cadillac converter right in the parking lot.
All right, this is an issue.
All right, okay, you're right, okay, all right, I'm done. Hey, how long, before I get an answer? What's the normal expectancy of a decision?
Probably tonight.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'll go sit down. Or should I stay here?
If you're,
Okay.
Can I have a motion?
To keep the cease and desist on the property.
it would be to, yeah, it'd be the, same, yeah, exactly, that wording, to allow the cease and desist to remain, and keep the cease and desist.
I move that we allow the cease and desist to remain on the property for Timberlake Court, Assessor Map 202, Block 2, Lot 23, for the current permits, number AD-17-12-02 and WC 18-0501. Wetlands violations not permitted under the referenced permits.
Yeah, and I would just say, and the listed violations on the enforcement, on that cease and desist order.
And the list of violations on the cease and desist order.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hold on, did you say aye?
Yes.
Well, you have a majority.
Okay. Motion carries.
All right, so we're all set, we're all done?
Yes.
All right, do I have a reasonable amount of time to get rid of this, to get it out? I have to, they move stuff when they, in the area, I have to get quotes.
How soon can the guy come pick up your stuff?
I have to get quotes first,
Uh,
all right, some of the small stuff I can move. That's no problem.
Can you do it in 30 days?
I would think you'd be able to get it done in 30 days.
Okay, 30 days.
All right, and what about the way the area is right now? Because I was gonna harvest trees for chips and I knocked a tree down to harvest it with my chipper. And it's just laying in the front now.
I would just say do it the next 30 days.
Do what?
Remove whatever you need to remove in the next 30
No,
days.
as far as not removing the trees, actually laying in the front. And I was gonna bring my chipper and chip it up.
Oh, is that for what we talked about on the hillside?
Yeah,
Yeah. Sure, that's out of the wetland area.
so that equipment, if I brought it there, can stay there?
You gotta finish with it. You gotta finish with it in 30 days.
30 days, yes.
There's more stuff knocked down that I can do in 30 days myself. I'm 67.
Yeah.
I won't be hiring anybody because I enjoy doing what I'm doing, because that's my retirement.
Well,
If I don't do physical work, I have no idea how big I'm gonna get, so. All right,
Well, you got 30 days.
well, I'll, I don't know,
So do what you can in 30 days.
but if it stays the way it is, that's just the way it is, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine by me. All right, thank you.
Yes, so we have now is adjournment.
we do have to do the other two applications. We just don't have anybody to present.
Oh, okay.
Nate could probably summaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can put something up on the screen to look at.
Yep. So we'll start with Boat Road.
Just make sure that Jay gets it back on. Make sure we know what we're talking about back on the agenda.
Yeah, this is gonna be Boat Road, so new business.
I apologize, everyone. That was very unprofessional.
I think there was some other ones with kids. Of course, you know, that was probably the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah, that's vivid for me too.
Okay, here it is. This is the determination of significant city of Torrington, location, Oak Road, CT dot bridge number 05059, activity temporary replacement of ground supported shoring towers in Naugatuck River.
Yep, so this is a project for the city of Torrington, replacing the decking and the bridge supports on the Bow Road Bridge, which goes over to ONG and straddles the Harwinton line. This is just a context map here. So you can see this is the bridge overhead, and what the permit is, what they're asking for is the installation of these temporary towers that are set on kind of a wood cribbing system in the substrate at the stream bottom. And that kind of jacks up the bridge supports here while they do the replacement. I talked to the bridge engineer and he said there's gonna be no equipment in the river for this, so they're not accessing from any point. They should be able to lower everything down right from the bridge there, so they're not gonna drive anything into the river there. There is erosion control, sedimentation controls here, a cofferdam set up around this center support here, and then more erosion controls there. And they're just gonna be in temporarily, and then they'll remove them after the work is completed. And so, yeah, it's just more close up on what the erosion controls look like on that. And so my recommendation on this would be to consider this a major, what's the term for that?
Significant activity.
Yeah, significant activity.
It was for me anyway, when Nate and I were talking, for me, it's kind of a jump ball, but they are gonna be working right in the riverbed. So, I was leaning towards significant and just doing a simple public hearing on this.
They're not digging in the river, though, are they? Are they placing?
For me, I think it's.
I think it's
I'm thinking it's not.
It's significant as well.
Like I said,
It wasn't.
There are going to be curtains, they're not gonna be in there,
Yeah.
short term. You know, there's no option really too, you can't, weren't they gonna originally replace this bridge and then there were some issues, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't think they're doing much except patching the abutments,
Yeah.
but those are in the upland area.
Right.
Yeah, even the abutments, there wasn't anything mentioned for.
Yeah, I think just doing some simple patching.
To me, it's insignificant, but.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
significant, I also agree.
So we want to
All
accept
right,
this?
I move that we accept the application for City of Torrington, location Vogue Road, Connecticut DOT Bridge number 05059. Temporary placement of ground supported shoring towers in the Naugatuck River. And it's not a significant activity.
Motion, can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, next, we're gonna do the apron.
Yep.
Okay. Next is determination of significance, applicant Paul Abling, location 471 Newfield Road, activity removal of vegetation in the upland review area.
What's he doing?
So this is the lot there, this is the east branch of the Naugatuck River. And so this is the limits of clearing that's planned, and that's gonna be, removed, stumps removed, and then reseeded to a grass net and then maintained like that.
I used to be a field years ago.
That's what he was saying, so there's gonna return.
I used to fish behind there, so I know that was the first.
Everything about everything in
I
the
know
town.
Newfield
Yeah,
Road.
it's right. I was broke out of there.
Yeah.
I was up there, I brought this today because I was up there for something totally different, and I kind of did a double take when I was going by there. I was like, oh, what's going on? It was, he just removed so many stumps, it's not a lot of grading, but everything was loose on the hillside. So it was enough to be like something to trigger a permit with us.
And they've already, so far, he's seeded and strawed immediately adjacent to the
Okay, so
river.
he's taking care of it.
Also, was this a violation at first?
It was a violation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so,
But
and
it
it's,
came in with a permit.
Yes.
and the slope, as you probably remember, it's not very sloped.
No.
It's all floodplain, essentially,
Uh-huh.
flat, a little bench, and then it kind of starts sloping up here, which isn't really even in the area.
Okay. All right,
So the question would be
whether
the
it's,
determination.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's,
I don't think it's-
I don't think it's a significant
significant.
activity. Yeah.
Does he have to do any, put any erosion control in place or no?
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, that was the only thing, was he didn't really have any erosion controls
Okay, so
down here.
what's he gonna do?
He did this, the straw, you said, right?
He did straw there, yeah.
I'm sorry.
It was just, we could recommend that they put in self-fencing there too, but it's pretty
Fairly
flat.
flat.
so-
No, I think straw fails at the same time. Move that we accept the application, Paul Abling for 471 Newfield Road for the removal of vegetation and upland review area, not a significant activity.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And that was an adjournment, huh?
I will adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion
Aye.
carries.
Did it.
Okay.
Stop the recording first. Oh, yeah.
I remember they didn't use some wooden shoes.
Really?
Yeah, the father. Well, did you ever, well, you're